against the competition or an airline that beats you. So as you guys may have heard, recently, for a passenger by the name of Jennifer Warden, which is the one up here, her decision to fly Southwest was a big one. I'm Gabrielle Moore, and from the recent incident with Southwest, I'm going to talk to you about an article from CNN. So if you guys are planning on going on vacations for this summer, be careful when choosing an airline because of these facts. For my first point, I'm going to talk about how April 17th, last Wednesday, a Southwest flight experienced an engine malfunction when an engine exploded. When this happened, oxygen levels dropped within the plane, and this is due because a window shattered, and Jennifer Warden, she was partially sucked out of the window, was like her torso up, I think, and the passengers worked together to pull her back in from the airplane, and they were to do an emergency landing in Philadelphia, but they still had 25 minutes to do it. So, and within that time, and they were landing with one engine, so within that time, they were trying to revive her, but when they got home and when she went to the hospital, her injury was too great and she died. So it's important to know, which takes me to another point, the first person that's died since 2009 on a plane, so that's why it's kind of a big deal. They haven't really stated yet for sure what happened, but they're leaning towards something about the fan blade. Like, as you can kind of see there, like they're missing a blade or something like that. So that's kind of an idea, but the reason this is kind of a big deal is because this is actually not the first time it's happened. Recently, the same thing happened in Orlando, Florida. It was like a very similar situation. An engine exploded, and they had to emergency land with one engine. But in this case, no one got injured because nothing like hit the window, so nothing shattered, and that's how she died. But it didn't happen here, so. But taking me to the next point, because this has injured a person and it's the second time, the Federal Aviation Administration basically said that they want to do emergency inspections for all 737 flight engines. And this is important to Southwest because they only fly 737 flights, unlike other airlines that have different types of planes, but this is their main one, so they're going to take a big hit from this because of that. And then to my next point, the biggest part about it is a lot of flight cancellations. So due to this, they're canceling a lot of flights in order to randomly inspect like the engines. And on Sunday, they stated that about 40 flights, which was like around 1% of the 4,000 for that day, were canceled. This isn't an exact detail, but it's kind of more of a generalization because they didn't want to give any more details. And then by Monday, 128, which were about 3% of the total. They also said that a few dozen cancellations is typically normal due to like weather and things like that, but obviously this is a little bit above the average. But with that, with the inspections, they can't provide detailed times for future cancellations. So this could also be another reason why you might not want to fly Southwest, considering that your flight might get canceled, but they are trying to work with people and make everyone safe. So. And then I'm going to switch gears a little bit and talk about how this relates to economics. So my biggest point here is that because of this incident, obviously the demand for the tickets for Southwest is going to decline by a lot. As we've talked about, demand has two parts. There's the ability to pay for something and the want. So I think in this case, mainly the want for it is going to go down, which obviously means that they're not going to sell a quantity of tickets and the revenue will go down, which obviously means that their profit is going to go down. So this is going to hurt Southwest immensely. And then with that, I think that they basically have two options. Oops, sorry. They have two options. So basically they can raise their prices to make up for the loss, considering with the incident and the cancellation of the tickets, they're losing money. But also with that, when picking an airline, you don't want to pick Southwest if it's unsafe and the prices are high. So therefore, they're not going to do sales. So to make the sales go up, they're going to have to lower prices altogether. And then with that, from some of the determinants of demand, so the expectation that the people had when going on this is that it would be a safe ride. And obviously, their expectations were not met. They wanted to get from point A to point B, which in this case now, the possibility of cancellations are in effect. And yeah. And then this is my last major point. So this has to do with the substitute principle, which basically states that when price for one thing goes up, the demand for something else is going to go up. So in this case, as we know, transportation is pretty inelastic. You have to get to work to different places. And it's not really a negotiable thing. Now, the means for it could be, I guess, if you think about it, you could take a train ride instead of a plane, things like that. But for ultimately some things that they're just not inelastic. So for this, I think that the demand for other companies is definitely going to go up. So therefore, they're going to sell more tickets, and with that, they're going to make more money. So ultimately, other places are definitely going to do better with this. And if they really wanted, they could even raise their prices, because when people are trying to choose an airline, they might, even though the prices are high, they might want to pick a more expensive flight, ensuring that they're going to be safe, things like that. So they could make it the most that way. Alright, so then my position on this. So because of this explosion, I think that definitely Southwest is going to have lower quantity of tickets sold. Therefore, their profit is ultimately going to go down. I also think that their expectation when routing for people, they were not met, and therefore this is kind of like an externality factor. I also think that when you're expecting your total utility, the opportunity cost is definitely going to go down due to they might have to pick another airline, maybe it's more expensive, things like that. And then I also want to make the point that for the government stance, I think they should definitely take a laissez-faire approach to it. I think that because maybe safety precautions weren't taken, that the company should kind of just take the hit for it, considering that maybe it was their fault in the end. We don't know for sure yet, but in this way, the other companies are definitely going to benefit from their mistakes. So, that's all. Thank you.
Exceptional. I think our class would agree it was